Hello everyone. Thank you for our Wednesday nighters who've changed your habits and come on a Thursday, because it's a treat tonight. Because we have with us Dr. Susianto Tseng, and he's from Indonesia, and his academic qualifications on this subject, which is plant-based diet for energy, are that he's a biochemist. He graduated a biochemist. He's also written 3 books on vegetarianism, so he has expressed himself that way. He's the president of the International Vegetarian Union and the president of the Asia Pacific Vegetarian Union. So he's also been recognized for his qualities and his skills and his knowledge. But as well as that, because that provides us with the background that what he's going to talk about tonight has been well researched, but also he's a very pleasant fellow. And the gentleness of his sort of presence appeals, and such as the vegetarian diet, but also his sense of humour and his familiarity with the topic, that you'll be held with interest in all the things that he's going to tell you. And if you thought you already knew about a vegetarian diet, you'll learn new things tonight with the biochemistry background also, if you have questions on what you might be missing out on, well, save them up, and I'm sure he'll be able to help us out. So I'm very happy to welcome him, because he's here for a conference, and on Sunday is World Vegan Day. Now, world means international, so World Vegan Day on Sunday. So he's here for a very big program in Melbourne, which will be happening then. So lots and lots of things happening, so much different from 10, 20 years ago, when vegetarianism was seen to be some new religion that you joined. So, Dr. Susianto, I'm very happy to welcome you here.
Thank you. Hello. Yeah, thank you for Jacqueline for the introduction. Welcome everybody. Yeah, thank you for coming. Yeah, actually this is a series of our World Congress in Australia, and this is the first ever World Congress of Veganism in Australia since 1908. So our organizations has established in UK, England, since 1908. So it's about more than 100 years. Yeah. We have about more than 120 vegetarians and vegan societies all over the world, our members. And I personally recommend very strongly to have our World Congress in Australia this year. And last year, we were in Dubai, Dubai, and also Chennai in India. This is the 42nd. And the 40, we were in San Francisco and Los Angeles. So this year will be our 43rd APVU World Congress and Fest in Australia. Last Sunday, we had a quite big festival called Cruelty Free Festival in the Australian Technology Park in Sydney. And this Sunday, welcome you all to our, what do you call, World Vegan Day celebration or festival in Melbourne Showgrounds. You know the place? Melbourne Showgrounds, starting from the morning on this Sunday, November 1st. Because November 1st is World Vegan Day. And October 1st is a World Vegetarians Day. So we celebrate these 2 events all over the world in the months of October and November. And I can say Melbourne is actually the most vegan-friendly city in Australia compared to Sydney. You can imagine for the last year experience, the World Vegan Days has about 10,000 visitors in Melbourne. So we hope this year will be more. Like our talk in BK Center in Fitzroy last night. It was my second time. Actually, last year I was visited here, but only for staying here for a night with Mala. Came here about midnight, and early in the morning, Tim already sent me to the airport. So I didn't have a chance to share with you about this topic. But really, Christian told me when she sent out the email to the BK database, and the response for this year is much better compared to last year. So last year we had about 70 audience participants for our vegan talk in the BK Center in Sydney. But this year, last night, it's almost hundreds. But I think it's about 96, yeah. So the full house of the room. Okay, this is just an introduction. And I also talk this topic in the Sydney, and this Sunday I will talk another topic, not this one, but about my studies of tempeh nutrition. Have you heard about tempeh? Yeah, it's a soy product, soy fermented product. Do you have tempeh here? Okay, so tempeh is a very nutritious food, yeah. And I'm a doctor in tempeh. So my dean called me Dr. Tempeh. And I'm happy because I do my PhD thesis in nutrition for the B12, vitamin B12 from tempeh. Okay, it's a big issue for vegan. Have you heard that? B12, calcium. Yes, yeah. Calcium, iron, proteins, and B12. They're the four nutrients that people always argue. If you go vegan, you'll be lack of these nutrients. Is it true? I will prove it scientifically. Yeah. Is it not true? Yeah, it is not true. Okay. So we have many no laser. Okay. We have many actually regional and international or world vegetarians union. We have a international one. We have Asia Pacific, and we have a smaller one, the regional called CVU. Yeah. So next month, on 26th to 28th of November, we'll be having our 7th Asia Pacific Vegetarian Union Congress in Thailand, in Bangkok. And next year, we'll be in Penang, Malaysia, for our 7th CVU, Southeast Asia. Yeah. So the next IVU, which is the 44th IVU World Congress, will be next year, because this is the annual event. Will be in Argentina, far away, very far, in Latin America. Okay, yeah. This is how we divide the world into 6 regions to support the vegetarians and vegan movement in the world. So since 1908, you see, it's quite a long time. In 2008, we went back to Dresden, Germany, to celebrate a century of IVU, because the first Congress was the IVU was established in 1908, actually in Dresden, but we have a headquarters in UK, a small town close to Manchester. Yeah. Okay. So we have North America, and then Latin America, Africa, and then Europe, and this is Asia, Middle East, and Asia Pacific. Yeah. Okay. I will introduce some nutritionists who are very expert in vegan nutrition, like Brenda Davis and Susianto Melina. This is our event in Dresden in 2008 in Germany. Yeah. So they are from the American Dietetic Association. So we are always talking about nutrition from a scientific base or scientific evidence base. We're not just simply saying about something. People, we have an issue, maybe you can read in the internet, Facebook. Boy cannot drink soy milk because can be feminine. Is it correct? Yeah, there's issue in the internet. Yeah, but who said? I said, who said? It's not scientifically saying. It's just something just simply say about this. And the girl, also cannot drink soy milk because can be infertile. So it's nonsense, yeah, all this rubbish message, yeah. And you heard about 3 days ago, WHO just announced a very important statement. Yeah. Yeah, it's a big issue in the television in Sydney, yeah, in this week. Processed meat can cause cancer, and the relationship between meats and cancer is just like a relationship between cigarettes and cancer. In the term of scientific sense, we call it very significant relationship. Yeah, there are many kind of relationship, but is it significant? Yeah. Okay, the first one. Okay, I think I talk a little bit about what we are, what do you call, mention or describe in all journal, scientific journal about vegan diet. So vegan actually is total vegetarian diet. You have heard about lacto-ovo vegetarians? Lacto means milk and dairy products, and egg is ovo. So lacto-ovo means vegetarians who are not eating any kind of animal products, but they're still eating egg and dairy products. It's called lacto-ovo vegetarian. And some people are very lacto. Very lacto means they drink a lot of milk, even they don't eat meat, fish, chicken, poultry, but they drink a lot of milk. It will cause a problem also for health. Yeah, I will show you many latest scientific finding or research about the disadvantage of drinking milk and dairy products, and also egg. You know, the cholesterol in the egg yolk is very high. I will show you the data later on. People will say meat has high cholesterol, but not so many people know that even, I mean, the egg even worse. The content of cholesterol in egg yolk is about 1,500 milligrams of cholesterol in every 100 grams of egg yolk, which is 20 times higher than meat. So every 100 grams of meat contains about 70 to 80 milligrams of cholesterol. But the same weight of egg yolk contains 1,500 milligrams of cholesterol. It's not true. This is another issue, which is not true. Yeah. I know they are talking about lecithin, but lecithins can decrease cholesterol, but lecithin is very less, a little bit in the egg. But lecithin also includes or contains in soy products in much higher level. So soybean doesn't contain cholesterol, but contains the compounds called lecithin, who are responsible or able to decrease the cholesterol level. So you just choose animal products has cholesterol and no fiber at all. When I say animal products means not only meat, poultry, and seafood, but including egg and dairy products. They are all animal fat, animal proteins, and has cholesterol. Many people will avoid something like coconut milk, coconut oil. They think coconut oil contains cholesterol. Is it correct? Is it true? Not true. Any plant-based products or plant-based food don't contain cholesterol, including durian. You know durian? Many Asians don't want to eat durians. Yeah, even though they like durians. But they worry about the contents of cholesterol in durian. Durian doesn't have cholesterol. Avocado, yeah, they don't have cholesterol. Peanuts don't have cholesterol. So plant-based foods contains fiber and no cholesterol at all. So you see just very opposite, yeah, between, I mean, the animal products and the plant-based products. So vegan diets are helpful, nutritionally adequate, and may provide health benefits not only for prevention but also treatment. Yeah. Well-planned vegetarian diet actually is good for every stage or all stages of life cycle, not only for adult, but even for pregnancy. I did a lot of study for vegan pregnancy for my thesis, my master in nutrition. Lactation also, yeah. I will show you the pesticide residue in the breastfeeding between the vegan mother and the non-veg mother are different. It's very high in a non-veg mother, about 35 times higher. Yeah, it's a data from USDA, United States Department of Agriculture. Okay, even athletes. I will show you athletes, Alexander Douglas from Germany, and we have a champion from USA called Roberts. He also will be a speaker in Melbourne this Sunday. Yeah, so they are all vegan bodybuilders, and they are world champion. Okay, how can I make the six pack, the muscle, not from meat? Yeah, I will show you. Yeah. Okay. That's why the vegan diet can have a lower cholesterol level, lower saturated fat, because we eat higher intake of fiber. Yeah. Meats, chickens, and other kind of poultries, fish, and other kind of seafoods, and also egg, dairy products don't contain fiber. Only plant-based food contains fiber. Vegetables, fruits, what else? Roots, and then legumes. You know legumes like nuts and beans. Yeah, all these contains fiber, including mushroom. Yeah. Okay, so we have more advantage to decrease the hypertension rates, diabetes, and prostate, also colon cancer. So this is mentioned by WHO officially this week. Actually, I talked about this 20 years ago already. But this is a statement from Vegetarian Society, from Research Center, University, but not from an official international body for health like WHO. I agree, as an international body for health like WHO, they have to be very careful. So I think they study for 20 years to make the statements in this week. Yeah, actually, this kind of studies was, I mean, a long time ago, we have all this data. But I think WHO must do a very hard work to do something like we call meta-analysis. So meta-analysis of thousands, even 10,000s of journals, scientific journals, until they are convinced, then they will announce. Yeah, so this is time to announce. The first one, vegan diet or plant-based diet. Yeah, in university, we never use vegan term. Vegan only for the vegetarian society or community. In the university, in the scientific community, we always use plant-based food or plant-based diet. Okay, so plant-based diet can beating heart disease. This is some important journal, scientific journal. You can, if you are interested in reading the full paper, you can go into here. Yeah, vegan diet improves diet quality, cardiovascular disease risk. Yeah, and symptoms of type 2 diabetes. Okay, we don't have the time to go into the detail. Advantages of vegetarians or vegan on health. 90 to 97% of heart disease can be prevented by vegetarian diet. This is a statement from American Medical Association. 40 to 60% of certain cancers can be avoided by not eating meats, also from the American Dietetic Associations. But in the contrary, protein from plant, including wheat and soybean, even at high level, may decrease cancer formation. From Colin Campbell, Cornell University. He's the professor, my professor. I will show you later on. So this is another important journal of cardiology. Yeah. The risk of getting heart disease, we call it CHD, coronary heart disease. For the meat eaters and smoker, it's the highest one, 70%. But if the people stop smoking but still eating meat, then decrease 20% down to 50%, which is still very high. But the people go lacto-ovo vegetarians. They don't eat any kind of meat except, or any kind of animal products except eggs and dairy products. So they have become lacto-ovo vegetarians. It decreased, but a little bit. It means the risk of getting heart disease for a lacto-ovo vegetarian is still quite high. But you see the last one, vegan or plant-based diet has the lowest risk of getting heart disease. So in simply saying, the common say, I can say that lacto-ovo vegetarians still have 3 times higher risk of getting heart disease compared to the vegan diet. See, almost 3 times higher. Even they are not eating meat anymore, but still animal products from egg and dairy products. Okay, so the proteins from egg and milk and dairy products are the same, just the same as the meat, fish, and also poultry. This is our bloodstream, our healthy bloodstream, our vascular, and this is a plaque. So it's a problem in our, this is called atherosclerosis. Have you heard about this term? So what is it actually, the white one? Cholesterol and saturated fats. So cholesterol contains in all animal products, which is I give a red color. And this is all from plant-based food. Doesn't contain cholesterol, 0. You see, durian 0, any oil from plant are 0, even peanuts are 0, durians are 0. But you can see fish. Some people say fish is okay because fish has no cholesterol. Wrong statement. Fish contains cholesterol. Okay. Animal body and human body can produce cholesterol because we have liver. But plant don't have cholesterol because plant don't have liver. Yes, this is a very, very easy explanations. Why plant don't have cholesterol? Because cholesterol produced in our liver. So we need cholesterol, but we don't need to eat cholesterol. Our body, our liver, the organs of liver can produce cholesterol. Okay, but if you intake cholesterol, then it's become higher, which will be a problem for our vascular. Can cause coronary heart disease, hypertension, and also stroke. These 3 kind of disease we call cardiovascular disease. Okay. Cholesterol in eggs is dangerous. This is a relationship between the serum cholesterol level in our bloodstream and the CHD incidence. So when the serum cholesterol level increase, then the incidence of coronary heart disease also increase. This is a very famous study for heart disease more than 100 years. We call Framingham study, done in US, from the grandfather until the grandchildren. More than 100 years. This is the longest longitudinal cohort study, in the world. Increased egg consumption linked to mortality. You see, only consuming 7 or more eggs per week. What does it mean? An egg per week, an egg a day, okay? But people normally eat about 4 eggs a day. Omelette, any kind of food from egg. Yeah. So only 1 egg a day can increase 25% risk of death because of cardiovascular disease. So it's very dangerous. Okay, Dr. Michael Kraper, we actually invited him to come to Melbourne, but unfortunately he's very busy in US, in California. Yeah, this is our International Vegan Nutrition Conference in Los Angeles and San Francisco 3 years ago. Okay, lowering hypertension or blood pressure. So Dr. Michael Kraper did a lot of study and published in the Journal of Public Health Nutrition in 2012 about the risk of hypertension profile. If you look at here, non-vegetarians as a control, then it will decrease from semi-vegetarian diet, pesco, you know pesco? Fish, yes, sorry. And then lacto-ovo, vegan. So you see, vegan still the lowest risk of getting hypertension compared to the rest, to other diets. Yeah, even lacto-ovo is higher, almost twice, 2 times higher than the vegan. Yeah, we don't say about the rest. Yeah, it's even higher. Vegetarians diet lower blood pressure. And then John McDougall is a medical doctors who are very focal in California. He's a vegan medical doctors. Yeah, he did a very good study in the hospital. We call clinical trial, not only community trial. So you see, with the vegetarian diet, strictly means vegan, no egg, no milk. It's total vegetarian diet. We call 100% plant-based diet, including very low fat intake. Okay, no fried, no fried tofu. Even is a vegan diet, but not enough for therapy or for treatment of hypertension. We have to control the intake of fat. Not only plant-based diet, but also low, very low fat intake. You see, even we only need 11 days to make these patients with hypertension, which is above 140/90. So if you have a blood pressure higher than this, it means you are hypertension already. Yeah, hypertension type 1. If above 150/100 is hypertension type 2. Yeah. So we only need 11 days with the very strictly vegetarian diet we call vegan diet and very low fat intake. Only need 11 days. We can make these patients become normal. The patient with the high hypertension problem can be lower. You see, 140 minus 70 become 123. And this is a systolic, this is diastolic. 90 minus 13 becomes 77. So after 11 days, by this vegan therapy or vegan diet treatment and very low fat intake, we can make the hypertension patients become normal with a blood pressure average 123 and 77. We don't need to have therapy for 1 month, a year. Yeah, only 11 days. How amazing, huh? Yeah. Okay. In general, the blood pressure for the vegetarians and the meat eaters is like this. It's worldly studies. So normally vegetarians have a lower blood pressure compared to meat eaters, but still in the normal range. Lower doesn't mean hypotension. Still normal, but not hypertension. Okay. And this is a study done in Indonesia. We can prove that our vegetarians practice, yeah, also have a good and normal blood pressure. Systolic is for the first one. So if I say 140/90, 140 means for the systolic pressure, and diastolic for the last one. Yeah, like this one. You see, blood pressure always have two data, two value, 140 and 90. Yeah, this one is systolic and this one is diastolic. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and then the last, the next one is preventing and reversing. Not only preventing, but can reversing. Okay, so it's like a medicine. Still remember Hippocrates, the father of medicine? What he mentioned, it maybe 100 years ago. Let your food be your medicine. Yeah. But nowadays, many medical doctors forget about these statements. They will give you a lot of medicines. Yeah. That's why Dr. John McDougall tried to prove it, to prove that the statement from medical doctors are actually not true. If you have hypertension and you go to visit the medical doctor, they will tell you, if you have a hypertension problem, you will have to take medicine for your whole life. Is it true? Yeah, this statement is true from the medical doctors, but it's not true. Yeah, we prove it already, yeah, by clinical trial. Diabetes, the risk of diabetes, you can look at the profile almost the same, almost similar, like the hypertension. Still, yeah, you see, the order is the same. The vegan diet still have the lowest risk of getting diabetes. Yeah. Plant-based diets consistently prove beneficial for people with type 2 diabetes, okay? Lower heart disease and diabetes risk with vegetarian diet. Meat consumption increase risk of diabetes. Many people only know and they understand the reasons of diabetes is because of sugar intake and foods which has a high level of GI. Have you heard about GI? Glycemic index. Okay. Is it true? It's true, but partly true. Not so many people understand meat consumption and egg consumption also associated to diabetes. Why? Because there are many reasons to create or to cause diabetes. Sugar and high level of sugar contents in the foods is just only two of the reasons. But the other reasons for getting diabetes is because, have you heard about insulin hormone? Yeah. Insulin hormone produced by our pancreas, right? Pancreatic organ. So these hormones called insulin will bring the sugar called glucose in our blood stream to go into the cell. So the sugar have to go into the cell to burn into energy, to calorie, in the organ called mitochondria. Have you still remember your biology biology lessons? We forgot. So the sugar, the glucose in our blood stream cannot be converted into calorie if this sugar is not get into the cell. So for the insulins to bring the sugar, the glucose into the cell, they must go into a door we call insulin receptor. So like we want to go into the room, we have to go through the door, right? So the door called insulin receptor. So this door can be blocked by cholesterol and saturated fat. That's why any kind of animal foods like meat, egg can cause diabetes, because the cholesterol inside these animal foods can block the insulin receptor. So the insulin cannot go in. So the glucose is still inside our bloodstream, cannot go into the cell. That's why everybody knows if we have sugar, we have energy. But why the diabetic patient, they have a lot of sugar in their body, but they are very weak? Why? Because the sugar is in the wrong place. Not get into the cell, but still in the bloodstream. So become high level of glucose. We call it diabetes. Yeah. Egg consumption linked to risk of type 2 diabetes. You see, this study is a quite old study, yeah, but very popular. This is the intake of meat, never intake meat, plant-based. Once a day, once a week. It's once a week, yeah, per week, yeah. 1 or 2 per week, 3 and 5 per week, and 6+ per week means eat meat every day, at least once a day. So you see the risk of getting diabetes for a people who eat 6+, what do you call the portion? We call it serving, yeah, of meat a week, have about 4 times higher risk of getting diabetes compared to the vegan, the plant-based diet. Overweight. You can calculate by yourself. Have you heard about BMI? Body mass index. So the BMI equals to our body weight by the unit of kg divided by body height, square of body height. Okay, you see, if the BMI between 18.5 to 25, it means we are in the normal range. But if we are more than 25, we are overnutrition or overweight. And how come if above 27? Obesity, obese. So more than 50% of the total population in US are obese. Terrible. More than 50% are overweight. It's a very dangerous situation. And some people say, I'm obese, but I'm healthy. I said, no such thing. Obese but healthy, I cannot heard. I never heard. Yeah. So you see, only the vegan diet can reach a normal BMI, and the rest are above. You see, above 25. This is a study in California. Compare the vegetarians and the non-veg. Yeah, in 2012. Obesity may cause early death. Can you imagine? From here to here, you can measure. For a man, cannot more than 94. Okay? And for a woman, cannot more than 85 or 86. Pregnant. Yeah. Pregnant man, not pregnant woman. Okay, obesity may cause early death. It's a very new study last year, published in the American Journal of Public Health. Yeah. Okay, next one, preventing cancer. This is the last one. So I think we still have some time to discuss if we have some questions. Yeah. Estimated percentage of cancer. Yeah, due to risk factors. I actually bring some photos, but I just erase it. I don't want to put it here. Yeah, it's very, yeah, like a colon cancer. Yeah, breast cancer, uterine cancer, ovarian cancer, prostate cancer, cervical cancer. Every organs in our body, every organ in our body can be cancer. Started from here. I think maybe the hair does it. Yeah, from your brain, eyes, nose, mouth, tongue, even tongue, skins, esophagus, okay, until lung cancer, and then what else? Stomach, liver, pancreatic, colon cancer, prostate cancer, everything, everywhere. Yeah, can be cancer. So the risk factor for cancer, cancer is a multifactorial disease. Not only one cause, not only one factors. There are multiple. But we know by study, by research, the main factor, the dominant factors, dominant risk factors of cancer is actually diet. Diet play a very important role in preventing cancer. 35 to 60%. So depend on what you eat. We have the old saying said, we are what we eat. Yeah. And then you see tobacco, 30%. My friends told me, I have a grandfather, his grandfather is 80 years old. Smoking for the whole life. Not whole life, maybe from 15. But still alive. And doesn't get cancer, lung cancer. I said to him, according to the research, not everybody who are smoking can get cancer. But don't forget, 80% to 90% of lung cancer patients due to smoking, especially the second smoker. You ever heard about second smoker? We are not smoking, but we got smoke from the first smoker. And the risk of getting cancer from the second smoker is unlikely. It's higher than the first smoker. So that's why in certain country and places, there's a penalty, there's a fine for smoking in the public area. Yeah. In Singapore, I think the fine is about 1,000 Sing dollar, which is almost the same as Aussie dollar. Yeah. In Hong Kong, it's almost the same. Yeah. But in Indonesia, it's very high fine. You know how much? 5,000. I think 5,000 Aussie dollar. Yeah. Yeah. But people don't have money to pay. Yeah. Okay. So theoretically, if we can have a good diet, a healthy diet by plant-based diet and not smoking, then theoretically we can avoid cancer by 90%. Theoretically. Yeah. This one is very contradictory, very controversial. Medication can cause cancer. But we find for medication to cure cancer. But medication itself can cause cancer. And the very funny things in the world, amongst the risk factor of death, medical doctors is one of them. Medical doctors is a risk factor for causing death. Yes. Carcinogens, you know this one? If you have a meat by barbecue, you will get all this toxin, which is called carcinogens. The compounds can cause cancer. Benzopyrene, which is also exists in the smoke of the cigarettes. Okay? And then polyaromatic hydrocarbons, heterocyclic amines, all these will be produced when during the barbecue of the meat. And the meat coloring, and when you fry the meat, you get another methylcholine Yeah. All these can cause cancer. Okay. Pesticide, you see? Meats contains pesticide residue about 55 times higher than grains. How come? People will warn you, if you are a vegetarian or vegan, be careful with pesticide. Is it okay? We normally heard about this. But in fact, meat contains pesticide residue much, much higher than vegan diets. You see, grains is low, fruits is low, even dairy products is 23 times higher than grains. Because it's accumulations of pesticide residue in the livestock. If you grow a livestock for 6 months, then the pesticide accumulated inside the body of the livestock. So it's become very high. And there's no way to wash out the residue, a pesticide residue inside the body of the livestock, the animal. How come? How can you wash? It's already inside. I mean, the muscle, and then the skins, yeah, and the fat cannot be washed. But we can wash the pesticide residue on the surface of fruits, vegetables easily. I put it into my book. It's a revision, Jacqueline. I already published 6 books. Yes, not only 3 books, yeah, until this year, yeah. My last book called The Miracle of Tempeh. Yes. Yeah, sorry? Yes, available, but for the meantime, still in Indonesian language, yeah, in Bahasa, yeah. We are in the process translating into English and in Chinese, yeah. Okay. So, vegan diets have lower cancer risk. More fruits and vegetable and less fat help reduce hormone-related cancer. What are hormone-related cancers? Breast cancer, uterine cancer, ovarian cancer, prostate cancer. Liver cancer is not hormone-related cancer. Lung cancer is not. Stomach cancer is not. Colon cancer is not. Yeah. China study by Professor Colin Campbell. This is here. This is when we have our vegan seminars in Singapore General Hospital. Yeah. Colin Campbell did a very great job in China 40 years, 40 years study. It's a long study, yeah. And found a fact, 80 to 90% of all type of cancer and cardiovascular disease. Cardiovascular disease means coronary heart disease, stroke and hypertension, and other degenerative disease, we call it chronic disease, can be prevented even until elderly only by adopting a plant-based diet. You don't need to take medicine, you don't need to take supplements. Yeah, supplement cannot replace foods. Yeah, don't take supplement as a food. So by adopting a natural whole vegan diet, not the junk food of diet, vegan diet. We have a vegan junk food. Even it's vegan, but junk food. Yeah. Like you eat a lot of the sweets, even it's vegan, but it's junk food. Yeah. The last one, Dr. Michael Clapper. Yeah. Did a lot of study on the digestion. This is carnivore, correct? And we are human. We are carnivore or herbivore, omnivore? Our teachers in the elementary school teach us we are omnivore. What does it mean by omnivore? Eating everything. Terrible. Only eating meat is dangerous. How come if you eat anything? Have you heard about a cat getting disease called cancer? Carnivore have a very little possibility or chance to get cancer, especially colon cancer. Why? Because the carnivore intestine is very short, straightforward. Yeah. But the humans, our humans' intestines, especially the colon, yeah, it's very long and not straightforward and also circulated. You see? So this part is very difficult part to bring out the feces from our colon to the rectum. So if somebody don't eat fiber, which is mean plant-based food, they have a very high risk of getting colon cancer because only fiber can push all the toxin and the rubbish from our big intestine or called colon to be out. And you see, it's very long, almost 10 times of our body height. It's long, very long. Yeah. Our human body is not suited for meat. I have a friend called, he's a real omnivore. He will eat everything who has 4 legs except table. So he eats pigs, lambs. What else? Dog, dogs, yes. Horse. Yeah. He eat everything who has 4 legs except the table. Yeah. It's terrible. Yeah. It's real omnivore. Dietary components correlate to intestinal cancer. You see, it's a risk factor and it's a protective factor. We learn study about the methodology, research methodology. This is called ratio of relative risk. Positive means risk factors. Negative means protective, prevent. So meat proteins and meat fat is the risk factors for intestinal cancer. And the vegetable proteins actually is a protective, can prevent cancer, intestinal cancer. Yeah, so it's very clear. Meat raises colon cancer risk. Okay, because meat has toxin and meat doesn't contain any fiber. This is a big problem. Yeah. Red meat again linked to colorectal cancer. There are many studies. I just show you some important one. Vegetables fight diabetes and colon cancer. And what about breast cancer? You see, animal proteins and saturated fat, even unsaturated fat, if we eat too much, it's also cause cancer, breast cancer. But we have a complex carbohydrate, which can prevent breast cancer. You know about complex carbohydrate and simple carbohydrate? What's the difference? We always say simple sugar. Simple sugar include sugar, cane sugar, honey. Honey also simple sugar. They have a very high GI, glycemic index. Okay? And then syrup. Even the vegan syrup, fructose syrup, is also a simple sugar. So they have a very high GI that can cause, it's a high risk factors for diabetes. But if you go to complex carbohydrates, it's safe, it's good, can prevent breast cancer, can control the sugar level and fat level in our bloodstreams. So which are complex carbohydrates? All the roots, potato, cassava, what else? Yam, sweet potato, corn, barley, all these are considered as complex carbohydrates. Barley has the lowest GI amongst the source of carbohydrates. So a patient of diabetes, actually I recommend to eat barley. Barley only has a GI of 25, the lowest one. All right, white rice, 56, it's quite high, white rice. Brown rice, a little bit lower, about 40 something, and the roots are about 40. And you know, the honey, honey is not a healthy food, very high GI. Very depend on the honey. I'm talking about the original honey, the pure honey, but nowadays it's difficult to find the new honey, the pure honey. They put a lot of sugar inside. Even the pure honey also varies GI from 40 to 70 something. So you may have honey with a very high GI, up to 70, more than 70. It's terrible. It's even higher than sugar, cane sugar. Meat consumption increases risk of breast cancer. Red meat consumption increases breast cancer. Vegetables, on the contrary, reduce breast cancer risk. Red meat intake linked to kidney cancer. Vegetarians that are better for kidney patients. Red meat and dairy products, not only meat, but dairy products, significantly increase risk of pancreatic cancer. Here, pancreatic. Pancreatic is here. No, pancreatic is here. It's liver, Red and processed meat increase risk of prostate cancer. Eating eggs linked to prostate cancer. Milk and prostate cancer are new evidence. Fish oil supplements no help to heart or brain. Many mothers will think their kid will be clever if give them omega-3 from fish. Let me tell you, if they eat a lot of omega-3 from fish oil, there will be a risk of getting prostate cancer. Yes. And even they eat a lot of fish but don't study, they are still stupid. Yes. So study is a keyword. Don't think you give a lot of fish to our kid, then we hope they are become clever by eating fish. No such things, no such scientific research. This is one of them. Fish oil supplements no help for the brain. And fish oil does not improve cognition. You must study. Not only eating fish. Yes. Do you know what is the difference between Thomas Alva Edison and Albert Einstein? They are all vegetarians. Yes. So vegetarians are not stupid. So they have a different approach. Einstein's very famous because of the high IQ, almost 200. But Thomas Alva Edison's not such high IQ. Even the teachers of him think that this guy is a very naughty guy, so must be kicked out from the school. But the mother, Edison's mother, is very, very, how do you call, very excellent mother. Yeah, have a very good parenting. Yeah, to teach Edison's. And Edison's is famous as a very great inventor. We only knows about this lamp, right? Thomas Alva Edison has a patent of more than 1,000 invention. Not only lamp, yeah, not only the bulb, yeah, more than 1,000. And what he said, Thomas Alva Edison said, IQ only play 1% role, and 99% are actually study and efforts. Yeah. So don't be worried if we have a kid, don't have a high IQ. Okay, don't worry and don't upset. They can be clever if they study hard. Yeah. Omega-3 supplement has no effect on Alzheimer's patients. Yeah. And we have a study in my university. Yeah, my students. Last year we had a study, and it's a very good study to compare the prevalence of Alzheimer's disease between the elderly from a FETCH group and a non-FETCH group. And we found the non-FETCH group elderly have more Alzheimer's incidence, about 4.5 times higher than the FETCH group. Yeah. Omega-3 and omega-6. If we're talking omega-3, fish is not the best one, because the omega-3 in fish is only below less than 50% of the total fat or oil. But flaxseed, you know flaxseed, right? Yeah, Australia is very famous for flaxseed, chia seed. Chia seed, no? Yeah. Chia seed is easier to eat. You just pour water inside, then you can drink. But this one you have to blend. If not, it's very difficult, yeah? Yeah, to buy. It's quite hard. So flaxseed is even even better than fish. In the sense of omega-3 content. Yeah, it's even higher. Pumpkin seeds, it's very good. If you look at here, sunflower seeds, high in omega-6 but low in omega-3. But pumpkin seed is very good. It's a very balanced and a good ratio for our body to absorb. Our body can absorb omega-3 and omega-6, omega-3 in the 4:1 or 3:1 ratio. So you see the pumpkin seeds that provides naturally a good ratio of omega-6 and omega-3 for our body to absorb. Yeah. Neil Bernard, he's a medical doctor. He's the founder president of PCRM, Physician Committee for Responsible Medicine. Yeah. They encourage people to have a preventive medicine, not cure. Because cure is too late. So we always agree prevention is always better than cure. Do you agree? Yeah. Soy, okay, the last part I want to highlight about this one. Soy decrease cancer risk for men and women, because many issues, not only from the public, but also from oncologists, medical doctors, who are expert in curing cancers. They will tell their patients, or even not patient, please be careful with soy products, especially for women. You don't take soy products because we increase the risk of getting breast cancer. Is it correct? We have many studies, new studies, and published in the very credible journal, American Journal of Clinical Nutrition. It's the best nutrition, the most credible journal for nutrition science in the world. Yeah, not simply journal sponsored by milk company, by meat company. Yeah, it's a very neutral journal. Yeah. So you see, soy decreases cancer risk for men and women. Soy intake in childhood reduces breast cancer risk later in life. So the early intake or consume of soy products, the better life, the better health it will be. Yeah. Soy boosts survival in breast cancer patient. Soy decreases risk of breast cancer recurrence. not only preventing, but secondary preventing, not only for the people who are not suffering from breast cancer, but even for the breast cancer survivor. You know, breast cancer survivor, yeah. Even for those cancer survivor, they already got breast cancer. If we treat by soy products, they can prevent the recurrence. Yeah. Not. The problem is like chemotherapy. This is a 3 standards therapy from the medical science, medical practice. One is operation, right? Surgery, and then chemotherapy and radiotherapy, radiations. So this kind of therapy, actually, they are not selective. It means they will kill all the cell in our body, not only the target. Actually, our target is cancer cell, right? But they cannot select. They just kill all the cancer, the cells, even the good cells, like the blood cell, the red blood cell, and then the white, I will call it leukocyte, which is good for our body to fight. But the problem is when you go through the chemotherapy, they will kill all. So the people become very weak. So it's nothing to do with the soy, but soy can help to increase, the immunity, because soy contains a lot of antioxidant. So this is the problems that medical doctors don't know about nutrition. They will think the phytoestrogens in soybeans is a hormones, which is not true. They call phytoestrogens, but phytoestrogens is not hormones. It's not the estrogens hormones from the woman. It's totally different. But the chemical formula is a little bit similar, but only 1 per 100,000 difference in terms of activity. So actually, the phytoestrogen from the soy products contains isoflavone. Have you heard about isoflavones? Which are a very strong antioxidant, anti-cancer. There are 3 types of antioxidants in soy products: genistein, glycines, and daxine. So they are very strong in fighting cancer, yeah, and also fighting oxidations, yeah, fighting inflammations, yeah, because the main reasons of getting cancer actually is inflammations, yeah. You see, it's another study. Vegetable intake increases ovarian cancer survival rates. Soy protects against lung cancer, not only breast cancer, but also lung cancer. And this is the answer for my statements in the earlier speech. Boy cannot drink soy milk because can be feminine. This study proved soy has no effect on men's hormones. So don't worry. Okay. Professor Mark is an expert for soy nutrition. Okay. He proved this study by look at the 5 treatments groups, and we proved that actually there's no effect on the testosterone of men. So don't worry. It cannot decrease the hormone level of the man. Yeah, don't worry. Soy reduces cholesterol in patients. Yeah, because soy have lecithin, can decrease the cholesterol level. And soy isoflavones have reduced the hot flash. You know hot flash? This is the hot flash for the menopause women. Okay, so this is the discomfort when a woman come to menopause age. So if you are pre-menopause, then I suggest you eat or you consume the soy products. Contains isoflavones. This is called phytoestrogen, but they are not hormones. Okay, this can stabilize the hormones declines in the body of the menopause woman. Yeah, so they can decrease this kind of discomforts. You see, hot flash, insomnia, breast cancer. But nowadays, many young lady already got breast cancer, even they are not up to the menopause level. It's because of the very unhealthy lifestyle, including diet and stuff. Yeah, cigarettes and all this. Alcohol. Yeah, there's no safe level to intake alcohol. Please remember, it's a new finding. Heart disease, yeah. Yes, yes, yeah. Because alcohol can increase our blood pressure. Be careful. Yeah. Osteoporosis and mood swings. You know mood swings? Always angry. Yeah. So when you when you when you find somebody who always angry, then ask him to eat tofu and tempeh. Yeah. Yeah. And drink soy milk. Okay? Yeah. Soy intake decreases risk of hip fracture. Not cow milk, but soy milk. You see this one? Dairy products do not promote bone health. So I have a lot of speech and talk in the televisions, okay? But you cannot listen in Indonesian. You can go to the YouTube and search Dr. Susianto. You can find a lot, yeah. But unfortunately, they are all in Indonesian language. Yeah, one of my talk in the television, I talk about this. Dairy products, milk. Okay, there is no scientific research to prove that milk and dairy products can prevent osteoporosis. After this statement, and then the milk company come to see me. Yeah. They came to the studio of the televisions. Yeah. And then I prove it by all this, not only this one, a lot of study, yeah, that I published in my book also. In the special chapter I call the new scientific evidence. Yeah. It's chapter 6, I still remember, in my new book, Vegan is Easy. Yeah. So now after that, okay, I said I cannot simply saying about this statement because I can be caught. It's a criminal. Okay? So I cannot simply say that I have a lot of scientific proof. Yes, I can speak and a million of people listen to the televisions. Okay? And I wrote these informations on my book. So my book is also read by million people. So I cannot simply say, and after that, they are convinced. Okay? And the funny things, the week later, the week after that, another company came to see me. This one is not from the milk company, but from the soy milk company. And they say, thank you very much. So as a sincere scientist, sometimes we become a stupid scientist. Because why? This company offered me a job as a consultant of their products, and I refused. Stupid, right? No? Okay. Yeah. So I said, if I become your consultant, then nobody will believe I talk. I become biased. Okay? I will talk the benefit of your products. I'm not in the position as a natural scientist. Okay? So it's really stupid scientist, yeah. Okay, talking about calcium. We are all victims of advertisement. Advertisement told us cow milk has the highest content of calcium, which is not true. The calcium in milk, cow milk, is very low. Only 118 milligrams calcium in 100 grams of milk. Compared to sesame, 1,160 milligrams of calcium. So the calcium in sesame seeds actually 10 times higher than cow milk. But nobody tell you about sesame. The advertisement, Yeah, sesame seeds. Yeah, of course you can blend it into a powder. Yeah, and mix with your oatmeal. Your oatmeal. Yes, oatmeal, right? As a breakfast. Yeah. And then you see agar. You know agar? Yeah. But why the people in Sydney last night they didn't know about agar? Yeah. Then you can make it into pudding. Yeah. You boil it with water, and then you let it cool down. Then it become a pudding. Yeah. You can put some chia seed inside. It's very nice, healthy, delicious. Yeah. Okay, and put some coconut milk. Oh, very nice. Coconut milk, coconut oil don't contain cholesterol, and they don't cause cholesterol in our body. It's totally different from saturated fat from animals. We have a lot of study, clinical trial to prove that intake of soy milk, coconut milk and coconut oil doesn't convert it into, I mean, they are not converted into cholesterol in our body. But if you eat the saturated fat and oil from animals, then if this come into our body, it will convert it into cholesterol in our liver. Yeah. Why? There are different oil, there are different fat. The fat in coconut oil, we call it medium chain fatty acids, lauric acid. Have you heard about lauric acid? The carbon chains only 12 carbons. But we are talking about animal fat or animal oil, like the oil from pig, from cow, from lamb. Yeah, they are called stearic acid. The carbon chain is about 18 carbon. We call it long chain fatty acid. It is very difficult to digest in our body and will be converted into cholesterol. Okay. So the fat in coconut is the good fat. And do you know the main oil or fat in the breastfeeding is actually the same as the coconut oil, the coconut milk, lauric acid. Yes. Drinking associated with insulin resistant metabolic syndrome. You see metabolic syndrome? This kind. Obesity, hypertension, lipid disorder. Yeah, all these are called metabolic syndrome. Mom's yogurt puts baby at risk for asthma. Okay, by breastfeeding. Me, we have a new slogans, even supported by our Ministry of Health. Cow milk for cow baby, not for human baby. Yeah. You see, cow milk can cause anemia because cow milk is very poor in iron. So if you give cow milk to your baby, to your kids, they will be suffering from anemia. Yeah. The iron is very poor in suffering from lactose intolerance. It's a genetic problem. But for Westerners, you are good in lactose, but you are not good in gluten. Yeah. Most of the Western the problem is, from the flour to become a glutens, they're undergoing a process called cross-linking reactions. So it's become very tough, very difficult to digest. Yeah. And then bronchitis, and then leukemia. So milk consumption is related to leukemia, blood cancer, and also multiple sclerosis in our brain. Okay. If you have a time, you can find this book. Yeah. It's an English versions. Yeah. Plant-based foods benefit longevity. Yeah. Vegetarians live longer. Have you heard about this one? Hanza people. The average life expectancy is about 100 to 120 years. Healthy elderly, long life, not unhealthy, forget it. Yeah, just a burden. It's a burden. Yeah, but they are long life and also healthy. What is the key words? They have 3 principles of eating. One is natural. Second one, plant-based. And the third one, simple preparations. If you go to kitchen, you have to spend about 1 hour, right, to prepare the food. They only spend 5 minutes. So the more simple okay? But for vegan, we don't have honey, right? Then but from soybean, 34%, and some better variety of soybeans contains even more, up to 40% of proteins. Mung bean, green bean, also quite high, 24%. We look at beef, pork, chickens, moderate. Okay, the proteins is comparable to beef and higher than chicken and mutton. Have you heard this statement? If you don't eat meat, you will be weak. You don't eat meat, you don't have power. You know which kind of nutrients can be the main source of our energy in our body? Carbohydrates, proteins, fat, mineral, or vitamins? Wrong. That's why, wrong. Carbs. Look at here. Beef, chicken, muttons has no carbo at all. So it's a very wrong statement. If you don't eat carbo, you will be weak. It's true. If you don't eat meat, you will not be weak. Because the main source of energy in our body is carbohydrates. It's not calcium, it's not fat, it's not proteins. And beef, chicken, muttons, and other kind of animal meats, they don't contain carbohydrates. How come you say if you don't eat meat, you don't have energy? Because the energy of our body is coming from carbohydrates. Fat and proteins is a stock of energy. It's not a main source. Okay. Iron. Spinach is the highest one. Have you watched the TV? Popeye. Yeah. Popeye. Yes. Popeye with spinach. Yeah. Can move the mountains. Zinc also contains a lot in plant-based diet. Not only in meat. This is my thesis for my master degree in nutrition. I compare the nutritional status of the children between the fat children and the non-fat children. And the fat children is better nutritional status. You look at here, they are very healthy. I have about 500 vegetarian children as my data, my participants. You look at here. She calls vegania because they are vegan from birth. Yeah. Yeah, vegania is a vegan from birth. And does he look like me? Yeah, vegania is my kid. Yeah, I call it experimental kid. Yes. I have to prove it by myself. Yeah. After vegania, many people in Indonesia, they like to become a vegan pregnant mom, yeah, and vegan lactating mom because of vegania. Because people have to see the proof, yeah. And look at here. Alexander Douglas is a champion, yeah, for bodybuilding, world bodybuilding champion in 2005. He's a German, and you see the muscle. What is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6-pack, right? We don't have 6-pack. We had 1-pack. Yeah, and our 1-pack is going down. Okay, you see, Alexander Douglas don't use animal products like a meat, egg, and milk, a dairy product to build this muscle and the 6-pack. And where does it come from? This 6-pack coming from tofu tempeh, tofu tempeh, tofu tempeh. Yeah. Yes, let me tell you. Okay, the last one, B12. This is my thesis for my PhD. Watanabe in Japan also did a lot of study about B12. Yeah, in seaweed, and I did a lot of study of vitamin B12 in tempeh. Yeah, and look at my finding. B12 in tempeh is higher than beef. Our RDA, you know RDA, recommended dietary intake, is only 2.4 micrograms of vitamin B12 a day. If we eat 4 pieces of tempeh, smaller pieces, not the big piece, yeah, only small. How big? 5 centimeters length and 3 centimeters wide and 1 centimeter thick. Very small, right? is about 25 grams, one piece. So if you take 4 pieces of small, 4 small pieces of tempeh a day, you already got 3.9 micrograms of vitamin B12. But of course, this is a tempeh from Indonesia, not from Australia. Because you are too clean. Your environment here is too clean. Just don't allow the B12 producing bacteria to live here. We found 2 B12 producing bacteria in the process, fermentation process of making tempeh. What do you call? Klebsiella pneumonia and Citrobacter friendly. These 2 bacteria are actually good bacteria. They are not pathogenic, not cause disease. Yeah, but they are not. They are. I think they are not able to live in a very clean and hygiene environment. Yeah. So you have a lot of tempeh here, like the very famous one in Sydney, with a brand called Fresh Tempeh. And the boss of the factory is the Indonesian. Yeah. So Fresh Tempeh is very famous in Sydney. If you look at the contents of the B12, it's very low, only 0.5 micrograms. Compared to the tempeh we produce in Indonesia, it's 3.9, which is very high. So what happened to the vegan here? If you cannot get a B12 from tempeh, I would suggest to get B12 fortified food, like a breakfast, like the cereal for breakfast. You know, cereal for breakfast, and also like soy milk. All these kind of products are fortified by B12. Yeah. So B12 is not a big issue because you also can take supplement. But supplement is the last choice. I always recommend my patients, my clients, to eat the fortified B12 fortified food first. And there are a lot, even in Indonesia, we import it from Australia. Yeah. Okay, this is the finding of my study. But you still can get a lot of good nutrients from tempeh, except B12. Of course, you can get all these kind of good nutrients. Sorry, B12? Yeah, it's correct. And the rest are the same. Yeah. Because B12 cannot be produced by the soybean itself. And actually, the animal body cannot produce B12. Many people misunderstanding. Have a misunderstanding. They will think that the animal body can produce B12. Animal body and human body cannot produce B12. But why in the meat we can find B12? Because the bacteria in the meat to produce bacteria. So we call it B12 producing bacteria. So we can find this bacteria in the process of fermentations. But they need a not so hygiene environments. Too hygiene, too clean, sometimes not good. Yes. If you eat something like at the side of the roots, you will be diarrhea. For us, it's okay, no problem. We have a higher immunity for that. Okay. After 3 months of intervention by tempeh, I spent a lot of tempeh for my research, about 1 ton of tempeh. Thousands kg of tempeh I spent for 3 months intervention for about 118 patients. Okay. This is the placebo. You know placebo? Control group. And this intervention group. This one is okay, no difference. But after 3 months, without intervention, we can see the difference. The control groups drop significantly. But the intervention group with tempeh is still stable. This is the level of B12 in our serum. Yeah. And this is what happened to fortification or so-called supplementation. It's a very deficiency group, B12 deficiency group. Our cutoff point is 156. You cannot be lower than 156. But the beginning of the research, the study, we found this group have a very low B12 level, only 124. After 3 months treatments by supplements, increased into normal, up to normal. But without interventions, we stop the supplementations, drop again. So supplement cannot replace food. Food is very important. Don't try to eat pill every day without food. Yeah. My friends in Bali, in this year, in the period of 2 months, went to hospital for 4 times operations. In two months. There are stones everywhere. Do you know what is lifestyle? He takes 10 to 15 tablets, supplement tablets every day. Terrible. Yeah. So I never encourage my patients, my clients to eat supplements. Yeah. Supplementations is only for a groups who are suffering from deficiency, not for the normal people. We have to eat food, not eat tablets. Yeah. Or pill. Yeah. Okay, last one. If you don't have a tempeh with a high contents of vitamin B12 here, you can take some nori. So Professor Watanabe has proved in Tokyo, in Japan, give this kind of foods, nori, to the group of vegan kids. Yeah, they can prove it's work. Yeah. But of course, I think the most reliable one still, the B12 fortified food and supplement, of course. So in the conclusions, the vegan diet can fulfill all the requirements of nutrients for our body to be healthy, except one, B12. So if you want to take supplements, only one supplement is called B12, not others. Yeah. Okay, the last one, I will show you some pictures. I was invited to WHO to have a speech already, and we have a very good relationship and collaborations between our vegan society with WHO, because the main programs of WHO nowadays about NCD, non-communicable disease, which is cardiovascular disease, cancers, all this, caused not because of infection, yeah, but because of not infectious, we call non-communicable disease, yeah. So just nice. Plant-based diet can prevent. So we had a lot for WHO, okay? And this is in the United Nations conference, yeah, for the health of children. I also talk about plant-based nutrition, okay? Okay, you see, it's a TV. A lot. You can find it in YouTube, yeah, but you cannot understand. Okay. John Davis from UK, George from US. When I talk about the recent study on tempeh in Spain, yeah, in Los Angeles, also talking about the tempeh. You see the table is the same as I presented here. Okay, the last part is, this is all the book I have written. Vegan is easy. Vegan itu mudah means vegan is easy. The miracle of vegan. This is the vegan nutrition for pregnant woman, for pregnancy. And then the miracle of tempeh. We can make about 200 recipe of tempeh. Not only fry and fry again. We can make a pudding of tempeh, a cake of tempeh, many things. Last night, Christians shared about 6 recipes of tempeh to the audience. And I said, in my book, I put 50 recipes of tempeh from the 200 recipes that we have. It's a competitions in the university. We invite all the nutritionists, the students of nutrition departments all over Indonesia to come to Jakarta to have these competitions. Yeah. And they choose the best 50 recipes from the 200 recipes that we have. They put it into here. And not only the pictures and only how to cook, how to make the food, but also the food analysis, the nutrients analysis in every recipe. How many calories inside these recipes? Okay, this menu, and how many percent, how many grams of proteins inside, how many B12, and how much how do you call iron or zinc or calcium, yeah, and calorie. Yeah, we have a what do you call nutritional analysis, yeah, for all the recipes. Yeah, we are in the process to translate this into English and Chinese, because I visit China very frequently, yeah, for seminars. I just came back from Singapore and China last 2 weeks, yeah, 2 weeks ago, before I came here. Okay, this is all I can share with you. Thank you very much for your kind attention. Terima kasih means thank you. Okay, in Bahasa, yeah.